What is up, everybody? Cliff Ravenscraft here with another reflection from the front seat. Today is a pre-workout reflection because I'm going to do my workout afterwards. And the focus of today is the introduction of Q&A here on the vlog. Q&A is something that I would love to start incorporating into a lot of the vlog content that I'll put out. I don't know how often I'll do Q&A, but I would love to start including a lot of your questions in my vlog. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Did I have to really explain it all? Probably not. Anyway, I put out some questions. By the way, Melissa Floyd, I want to thank you. You submitted a question to me like 4 days ago, and I've not ignored it, but I've not responded to it because I knew that I wanted to get to it. And then today I put out on Facebook and also on my Instagram story that I'm seeking some questions for the vlog to be included. And I want to thank Gary Takacs and Gary Cantrell for your questions. I'm going to include all three of your questions into today's vlog. Part of me is a little concerned about throwing out some questions because I may give you responses that actually don't necessarily demonstrate that Cliff knows everything, or my answers may not impress you. But hey, the desire and the design of my vlog is to be authentic and transparent to the core. Now, before I get into the questions that I'm going to cover today, I want to invite your questions. And there are many ways that you can submit questions for my vlog. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, whatever video that you're watching, just scroll down to the comment section and post your question right there. If you're watching me on Facebook, simply wherever you're watching on Facebook, on that post, go to the comment section, post your question right there. Now, if you want to, you can email me a question. Just email that to cliff@cliffravenscraft.com, and make sure you put vlog question in the subject line. That way I don't feel obligated to hit reply and answer your question in long form in email, because trust me, I'll be tempted to do that. So anyway, by the way, I really hope that I will get a lot of questions that are just real quick response, like quick fire questions. None of the questions that I have today actually are quick fire questions, but I'm going to answer them in quick fire format as much as I can. In fact, Melissa, I'm going to answer your question last, and I'm going to start with Gary Cantrell, who says, Cliff, I'd love to hear you talk about your video editing workflow. I love my video editing workflow right now because it's super simple, especially if I record my vlog in under 29 minutes and 59 seconds. Because if I do, that means it's a single file on my Canon EOS M50. That means that as soon as I'm finished, I simply go home, I take the SD card out, put it into my SD card reader on my iMac, and I simply drag and drop that file over to an external drive, because these files are massively large and I don't want to take up my internal hard drive. So I use an external drive and I drag and drop it straight over to an external drive. And then once it's on the external drive, I upload it directly to YouTube and I upload it directly to Facebook. And then I give it a name for the episode, and I write a little description while it's uploading in the background. And then what I'll do is I typically will go in, I'll use Final Cut Pro just to drag the file over there and drop it into Final Cut Pro. And I use a tool inside of Final Cut Pro that allows me to export a thumbnail of any particular frame in that video. And so I'll search for a long time for a thumbnail that I think is a good representation, and then I'll take and export that as a JPEG, and then I open that up into Photoshop, and then I have a template that has a little transparent bar underneath it, and it's got text already in the right size, and I have one template for 2-line title and one template for a 1-line title. I use Photoshop to put my text, the title of the episode, over top of the thumbnail that I exported, and then I go back over to the window or the browser that is uploading my YouTube, and you can choose a custom thumbnail, and I upload that JPEG image over there. And then inside of Facebook, while it's still uploading, and yes, I'm uploading to both simultaneously, You can actually, if you're uploading to a page on Facebook, you can also upload your custom thumbnail there. So then I let those things upload. Everything's unlisted in YouTube. I actually tell it to publish as soon as Facebook is done, because when Facebook is finished, they won't actually publish it until the video's fully processed and full HD is instantly available. So let's just assume that all of the time has passed for those videos to upload. Then what will happen after that is I will go to Facebook, and since it's posted to my public figure page on Facebook right now, I then go in and will click share under my personal profile, and I will share with I'll put a little bit of text to kind of entice people, you know, to whet people's appetite for that piece of content that will get them to click the play button. And so I share it to my personal profile, because that's really where I've built my community over the years. I think there's like, I might be hitting somewhere between 7,000 or 9,000 people who are following my personal profile, very few people on my Facebook page. And that's been by design, because I've always been kind of a personal brand, and that's just been the way that I wanted to do it over the years. But I'm using a Facebook page because it does allow me to use to upload it, and it allows me to actually use a custom thumbnail rather than those extremely embarrassing thumbnails that Facebook will choose on a personal profile. Also, I plan on doing some paid advertising in Facebook, and that's another reason why I'm starting to get my public figure page a little bit more active these days. So then I go over to YouTube. I wait until it's processed the HD version of my upload. And once it's done that, then I make the video public, and then I assign it to the vlog playlist. And then that's published, and that's my workflow. Now, that is a majority of the time. I mean, literally zero editing, zero post-production. Now, there are some times when I do a little bit of post-production. And for example, if this thing goes over 29 minutes, 59 seconds, I have to actually start a new file on my camera, and then I will actually have to drag both of the files off the SD card, and then I drag both of them into Final Cut Pro, and then I use Final Cut Pro to export it out, assuming I'm not doing any editing. But if I do any editing, I'm going to do all of that in Final Cut Pro X. So I use Final Cut Pro X on my iMac, and it is super fast. I mean, extremely fast. I can export a 25-minute vlog in about 3 to 5 minutes. Whereas if I used Adobe Premiere Pro, whatever it is, which I have the Adobe Creative Suite that I pay for, but I pay for it mostly for Adobe Audition and for Photoshop. Those are the two Adobe programs I use all the time. But anyway, I have Adobe Premiere, you know, for video editing. But if I export the same file, it could take me an hour on the same computer to export that file. So I use Final Cut Pro X. I absolutely love it. That's what I use. And there are times when I will go in and edit, and there are some times when I'll bring in other clips and overlay it on top. And if I'm going to do all of that stuff, that happens in Final Cut Pro X. So yeah, that's my workflow, but a majority of my vlog content right now is one and done. I hit record, I start talking. I don't even edit out the part where I'm reaching for the record button. I just give it to you. Raw, unfiltered, unscripted, unedited Cliff Ravenscraft. That's my preferred video format, but then again, there are times when I will go super crazy and do all kinds of different B-roll footage and stuff like that, but all of that stuff will happen in Final Cut Pro X. By the way, Final Cut Pro X, one of the important things that I will tell you, go into Preferences, and there's the Import tab, and you want to make sure that it says Keep Files in Place. That way, if you drag the file from the external hard drive over to your timeline in Final Cut Pro X, it will just keep it on the hard drive and work from it and read from the external hard drive. If you don't have Keep File in Place, then it's actually going to make a copy of all of the files in your project on your hard drive, anyway, yeah, just a little tip there. All right. Next question comes from Gary Takacs. He says, Cliff, here's a question that I appreciate your experience and perspective. What are your best list building strategies where my focus is not necessarily on quantity, but quality? Gary, I am not an expert list builder. To this day, my mailing list is still under 5,000 subscribers. I'm not embarrassed by that. I've never aggressively tried to grow my list. In fact, for the first few years of my mailing list, my opt-in form said, please give me your name and email address if you'd like to be notified of the next time I have a new product or service to sell you. Now that sounds ridiculous, right? No lead magnet, no free gift to entice people to sign up? Nope. But guess what I did get for the first 5 years of my mailing list? I had about 2,000 to 3,000 people who signed up, and every time I had a new product or service that I wanted to announce to the world, I would send it out, and one email would generate anywhere between no less than $5,000, and I've had one email that has generated over $70,000. One email to a list of under 3,000 people at the time. So I've never been one to do that. Now, I will tell you that a couple years ago, I started a new strategy, and I didn't have a quote-unquote lead magnet. I felt my newsletter for the podcast development was my lead magnet. And I said, hey guys, sign up for my newsletter, and every Friday, my email list, and every Friday, you will get my best tips, tools, techniques, and strategies related to podcasting. All of the stuff people have paid me thousands of dollars for over the past decade, I'm giving to you for free every Friday. You can still go, by the way, go to mindsetanswerman.com/newsletter, mindsetanswerman.com/newsletter, and as of July, it's now July 1st, you can still get that newsletter today. It's like 28 weeks worth of podcast development newsletter. But as far as techniques and strategies for growing your list, Gary, if I were to spend more time working on trying to grow my list, I would number one, make sure that before I did anything to get people on my list, that I created an autoresponder sequence, that my ideal perfect target customer, every single week without fail, for a very lengthy period of time, that they would see me show up in their email inbox with a valuable piece of content that doesn't require them to go anywhere outside of that email alone. And I'm talking about your best stuff, giving it away for free, something that's gonna add value to their lives, something that where every single week, like for example, the podcast development newsletter, people are like, dude, I can't wait till Friday, because I know on Friday I'm gonna get another piece of content that's gonna blow my mind that Cliff is giving me this stuff for free. That's the kind of stuff that I think that should be done ahead of time. Create several weeks in advance worth of that kind of content in an autoresponder sequence, so that as people sign up for your list, they're going to consistently be receiving that content on a consistent basis. And then keep going, keep putting content in there. That's my strategy. And in fact, I just talked about in a recent vlog, I just started a new newsletter, because I don't do the podcast development newsletter anymore. But now I'm doing a new newsletter, and currently the working title is Confessions of a Content Creator. It's not advertised anywhere, but I literally just now started it. And if you go to mindsetanswerman.com/newsletter at some point in the future, that landing page will change to where it's going to promote this newsletter instead. Now the thing is if you go to the mindsetanswerman.com/newsletter and sign up for the podcast development, you're going to get one every Friday with a podcast tip, and you're going to get an email every Monday from from the Confessions of a Content Creator. So yeah, but I still have not created an opt-in lead magnet, something to entice people, and then to get them to entice them to get onto my list so that I can start sending them those emails. What I'm doing right now, my strategy has been, hey, do you want to hear from me regularly? If so, sign up for my newsletter. And the cool thing is by doing it my way, the way that I'm doing it, is I'm not paying for a ton of people to be on my mailing list who don't actually want me to show up in their email inbox on a weekly basis or several times a week. So I avoid paying for people. I avoid paying to annoy people. I just, for whatever reason, I've just not felt led to entice somebody to get something for free, but then to be annoyed whenever I show up in their email inbox again. And I know that that's crazy. I know that it works, internet marketing, all that stuff, and I'll probably do it one day. But Gary, that's my answer to your question. Then I'm gonna answer the final question that I have here. This is from Melissa Floyd. And it's a lengthy question. I'm going to read it to you. She says here she says, I'm experiencing some quote unquote tension over a choice I'm making. Faith-wise, I want to make a YouTube channel that brings in 0 income and where I just pour into others 100% by creating a quote unquote journal with me content to inspire and encourage others in their relationship with God. Business-wise, I want to help others with their photography and learn to make passive income as a photographer and diversify, etc. Let's see here. It can be difficult as a photographer, so finding unique ways to inspire, educate, and encourage others to expand their income streams. So if a job fails, though they have the safety net, so to speak. A part of me wants to slap them both together, but part of me wants to keep them separate, at least for the journaling / relationship with God aspect for integrity. Did you experience that tension? If so, how did you address it? And she says, she posted later, I guess the main question is, how do you tackle the decision to monetize something or not? Personally, especially if you want to protect the integrity of your message, I might have to have another read of Thou Shalt Prosper. By the way, Thou Shalt Prosper is a great book by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Incredible book for a lot of mindset stuff related to integrity of your message versus charging people money and doing things for the purpose of generating income, which I don't think that you have to worry. I think that's a false dichotomy, Melissa. So I've learned that. By the way, this channel right here, this is the Cliff EOTC YouTube channel. I know some of you are watching on Facebook, but this is primarily, first and foremost, created for my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Cliff EOTC. Some of you may not know this, but that stands for Cliff Encouraging Others Through Christ. Yes, for those of you who are non-believers, you get turned off by faith stuff, just imagine it's Cliff encouraging others through content. Does that work for you? So, and in fact, I'm doing both, right? Whether or not, first and foremost, I don't feel like I always have to be throwing my faith out there and making everything faith-based. In fact, I want to be a person who is living out my faith, that my faith is driving every thought and decision and word and action in my life. Now, I fail miserably at times, but I'm authentic and I'm transparent to the core. Now, my heart and my desire is to create content that entertains, encourages, and motivates others and educates, entertain, educate, encourage, and inspire. Yeah. See, this is why I should edit, but I'm not going to. I want to create content that entertains, educates, encourages, and inspires others so that they will become more of who I believe they were created to be. Or at least that they will become more of who they believe that they were created to be. And it's a very faith-oriented message. It's a faith-oriented desire of mine. But you know what? I have a lot of people who are non-Christian, non-faith-based people, a lot of atheists that follow me. And you know what? Those people may not buy into my faith message. They may not believe that they were created by the God that I believe in. They may not believe that they were even created. They may believe that they have evolved from amoebas and as a result of that this is all just random acts and stuff like that. But you know what? There's still a lot of those folks who are still watching what I'm doing, and they have a desire to be the best versions of themselves. And I mean, why not, right? As long as my heart is not necessarily to convert people to a faith that I believe. I'm not creating content so that other people will validate my worldview, my faith view, any of that stuff. I'm not trying to convert people to Christianity. What I'm trying to do is what I believe God has called me to do, which is encourage and inspire and educate people on how to become the best versions of themselves so that they will be of great value to other people on this planet. That's what it's all about. Whether or not you believe that is a God-ordained and planned out sort of purpose in life, or if you just, I believe that those who don't share my faith also have a desire to be a valuable resource in life. That I believe that we all internally, wherever it comes from, if you don't believe it's from God, I believe we all have this desire to show up in the world, to grow so that we can actually become more, that we can actually feel better about ourselves and how we are adding value to others, but also to contribute, to make other people's lives better. I think we all have a little bit of that inside of us, regardless of, you call it the universe or whatever the case may be. That's what I believe. Now, I used to have this channel, and then I created a separate channel for Podcast Answer Man back in the day. And you can go to, I think it's youtube.com/Podcast Answer Man, and there's a couple videos over there that I started creating in that realm. And so I wanted to keep those two separate. I wanted one to be purely business, and I wanted to have this as my personal. And over time, I just like, you know what? I just want to be me authentically wherever I go. And by the way, I'm not prescribing to you anything. I'm just describing that I'm still working out this journey on myself, except that I feel like I'm very confident that I have come to the place where I don't do anything for the purpose of, let's just do something for faith-based, something faith-based for the sake of faith-based stuff. I do things for the purpose of my mission and goal and my calling in life, which is to entertain, educate, encourage, and inspire others. And I have no false dichotomy that there's a difference between the ministry and faith-based version of Cliff Ravenscraft and the business and the products and services, paid products and services, free products and services, free content, paid content. I have no false dichotomy. I don't ever worry about the integrity of my message just because I say, hey, come to the Free the Dream conference, buy a ticket and come and change your life. Come and learn what's holding you back. Come and learn how you are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I honestly believe that if you pay for a ticket to Free the Dream, it will radically, profoundly change your life. That you will be introduced to insights and wisdom from people that have shared it with me over the years that, oh my gosh, wow, I had no idea that stuff was holding me back, or I had no idea what I didn't know. And if I would have known it back then, how radically would have my life been able to, anyway, I would have been able to avoid a lot of challenges in life, a lot of struggles, a lot of heartache, a lot of unhealthy living. And so I have no qualms about selling a ticket to a conference. I have no qualms about inviting people to join a weekly mastermind group with me that costs $1,000 per month, which I currently have, I think we have 17 people right now who are in that, and they are all absolutely loving it. And they tell me, and of course, if you go to nextlevelmastermind.info, you'll read the testimonials there. There are people who this is their favorite 90 minutes of the week, every week, is to show up for this meeting that they're paying $1,000. That is not against the integrity of my message. It's like, because those people pay $1,000 a month, and because people will ultimately buy, there'll be enough tickets sold to this conference that I will be able to be in the black, so that I'm not actually, it's not going to cost me money. And I'm confident that we will have a profit on this conference even. And so that's not a lack of integrity of my message. Sure, it's because those people pay that gives me the freedom and the margin to come out here. Like, I've been out here every single day creating vlog content for free for people that don't have to pay for this. And it's only because I am not afraid to charge and to market products and services that people pay for, that definitely include my philosophy of life, my heart when it comes to serving and loving others. And it's weird because a long time ago, I used to have a desire that I would be a pastor one day, a pastor of a local congregational gathering, which some people call the local church. And I used to think that was my calling in life. And then through the journey that I've been on, I realized that, wait a second, my business my business, my paid products and services, the business that I do, can be the greatest expression of ministry in the world. That I can actually do ministry and serve in a ministry capacity to people who are paying me $1,000 a month. I can serve in a ministry capacity and preach messages. I don't, by the way, I'm not preaching at Free the Dream, but I can actually share messages at a conference where people have paid hundreds of dollars to attend the conference. And all of that, that can be ministry, but also because I'm not afraid to do that, and I'm willing to take that, and I don't see it as a false dichotomy, I'm able to create content like this, like my podcast and my email newsletter. I'm able to do all of that for free for people who don't have to pay for this. And there's no expectation that I'm trying to convert cold leads into sales, which is a podcast, which is a vlog that I eventually will get into if I didn't get into it in that one that was about a business about loving and serving others, which it might have been. Anyway, those are my answers. So Melissa Floyd, Gary Cantrell, and Gary Takacs, thank you guys and girl. Thank you so much for being the first folks to submit your questions to me here for Q&A in the vlog. I appreciate each and every one of you, and for the rest of you, I look forward to having some of your questions coming up in the future. I can't promise that I'll include everyone's question, but the best way for you to get considered for inclusion in a future vlog episode is to leave me a comment wherever you're watching this video, or send me an email, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com, and put vlog question in the subject line. And real quickly here, 2 things I'm going to tell you, because guess what? I don't believe this is any problem with integrity of my message. Number 1, please consider coming to flee the dream. No, don't flee the dream. No, free the dream. freethedream.live, freethedream.live. That's the sales page. That's where you're going to go and learn all about what this conference is. freethedream.live. Go there today and reserve your seat right now. For those of you who are on the, like you're actually in over your head, way past knee deep in the pursuit of building your own profitable online business, check out nextlevelmastermind.info. If you'd like a weekly group of people who've got your back, who are on the same journey that you are on, that are going to consistently motivate you, encourage you, hold you accountable, all of the amazing, awesome benefits of being in a mastermind group, check out nextlevelmastermind.info. nextlevelmastermind.info. Those are the 2 things that I have you check out today. Until next time, my friends, I encourage you to take everything you do to the next level.